Hey everybody, welcome to a new bit of content from CR6. This is something you guys have not seen before. This is 6 by 6 our new podcast. I am I7. I'm joined today by Matt Mister for episode number 1. Say hello, of course.
Hello, hello. Just gotta have some fun.
Yeah, this is totally going to be a little bit more laid back. This is topic number 1 here. Is what the heck is 6 by 6? So we'll get started right away. Um, we're going to be talking about 6 topics, 6 minutes each every week. The first 2 this week are kind of housekeeping, so they might run a little short because I don't want to bore anybody, and I don't have 6 minutes worth of stuff to say about them. But yeah, I think that 6 by 6 is kind of going to evolve over the next couple weeks.
Work out the kinks. You wanna go ahead and fine tune the show. It's only in its beginning. Don't try and make it sound like it's crazy good right
Yeah.
off the bat.
Oh, for sure. Because yeah, I mean, we're gonna end up messing with number of hosts and who the hosts are, and definitely hoping to get guests from CR6 staff and from the players as well. Because we want to. I mean, we can't talk about stuff if we don't have people who know what to talk about. So we'll get people in here. Um, yeah. So basic idea, we'll pop in, say hello once a week. We'll have 6 topics. We'll talk for 6 minutes about each, and then we'll be out of your hair. And uh, something that we're interested in getting is participation from just anybody who's watching. We want to talk about stuff that you guys want to hear about, because otherwise nobody's going to watch the show, and that would be pretty pointless for everybody, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, we can't come up with all the ideas here. We
no,
we we did the first week for you guys. You have to come up with the rest of them for us. We're
yeah,
we're that kind of content creators, you
we definitely
know?
reworked the topics that we had like 3 or 4 times before we filmed.
Yeah,
So yeah, we need some help.
just
Um,
just a little bit.
but yeah, so to do that, we created a new Twitter for you guys to check out. It's 6x6 podcast and the at symbol for it. I don't Twitter very well, so I forgot to say the at beforehand. But yeah, it's at 6 by 6 podcast. It should be on your screen right now. But
Something like
but
that.
it's
It
not
will
on mine
look
right now,
pretty.
so I didn't think of it. Yeah, so we definitely want you guys to like tweet us what you want us to talk about, because we're not that creative. So yeah, tell us anything you want to hear about, anything you want to hear us joke about, anything you want serious opinions on. We're gonna try to do a little bit of everything on here, because otherwise it'll just get boring for everybody. Um, and just like I said, we don't have 6 minutes worth of stuff to talk about there. So we're moving on to topic number 2, which is the evolution of the CR6 stream over time. Because you guys might have noticed that, like, what was it? This was 6, 7 weeks ago now when we did our division reveal. Um,
Hmm. A
and
while
we
ago.
and we said everybody was gonna get streamed, and that hasn't happened.
That's
Um,
it's a big order to fill when you want to say you want to stream everyone, but
yeah,
then you look at it and you're just like, oh, that's a lot of teams, that's a lot of games, and then you're like, then we have to get them all play on a Friday or a Saturday
yeah,
at like, for me example, it's either you're playing at 9 o'clock and you're ending around 12, or you're just starting at 12, and then it's sometime like 2, 3 in the morning that you're ending if you go double overtime on both maps, and you're just like, yeah, no one's
yeah,
really awake at that moment.
yeah. So unfortunately, yeah. I mean, we discard that plan lasted. I want to say, I'm trying to recall like the production side text channels that we were all talking in. I want to say it lasted about 45 minutes into the first match is when the first person was like, "We need to change the stream schedule." If you guys remember, like week number 1, the first match of season 2, there were like 8 rehosts, like something absurd. Like there was just technical issues out the ass. I mean, obviously, that I mean, every like event and stream that I've ever watched, even on a professional level, that it's constantly like, oh yeah, that's gonna start poorly. Like the first day of any stream always goes terribly, and I mean, we like everybody else came into this like, heck yeah, we're gonna fucking nail it day one, and then yeah, 45 minutes into the first stream,
We're gonna have
somebody was
great
like,
quality.
this is
Everyone's gonna enjoy it.
yeah. So yeah, we're doing it different now. At this point, every week, the production staff gets together and we pick the matches that we want to watch. Usually, those definitely tend towards the top teams in the league, because higher level, higher quality of play, um, generally is better to watch. But I think even more importantly than that is we've got, some stats boys have put together like an algorithm that I have no idea how it works. Don't even try to ask me about that. But
I'm pretty sure it revolves around completely. It's some sort of point-based system, and
hmm,
it's mostly revolving around like taking your CR6 ratings, and it's taking your actual score of your team and how you're doing, and then it's comparing it, and it's like, yeah, this team is doing pretty well, and then it's supposed to go against this team that's also doing pretty well or is doing pretty bad, and it shows you basically how well we're doing in difference. There's a bunch of stats that go into it. It's crazy,
yeah.
crazy.
So basically, it's yeah. We've got some guys who actually know what they're doing came up with a way to compare different matches, not just the teams, but comparing like the expected quality of the matches themselves. So that's pretty cool. I think that's really fun. So we look at that. We tried not to stream anybody too much. I think right now the only set in stone rule is nobody gets 2 weeks in a row because that's outrageous. But yeah,
Too
we're
many.
we're trying to spread the love and still create quality content, and definitely keep giving feedback, if you want to see something different.
Want to see
CR6,
someone different.
yeah. We just
Make sure you say something. That's what the suggestions is in the Collegiate R6.
yeah. I mean, we
Just spam. Just be like at Swindle. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't do
no.
that. He'll end us.
he
Yeah,
get,
no, that's the worst
he
idea.
gets
Actually,
so much already, but I don't know.
it's because we love him. It's okay. We
Yeah,
love some Swomboli.
yeah. He loves to complain behind the scenes, but he also, I think he really loves to interact with the community. I hope he does, because otherwise he's gotta really hate his job, because that's all he does. Um,
Oh, we can't forget about 6x6 the
yeah.
days when
So
we're gonna do that.
yeah, similarly to how we announced like the stream schedule, being like really ambitious. I remember that same division reveal. We said it was like, tune in this Thursday for 6x6 with I7 and Man Pants, and well, here we are, 6 weeks late, but
Yeah,
it's
just a tad bit late.
yeah. So that, I mean, that's not a whole lot to get into there, but other than this just didn't really happen when we planned it to, and it was scheduling issues, and it was
A
not
mess.
sure if not sure exactly whether we wanted to do it with the 6x6 theme or if we wanted to come up with something else. We weren't exactly sure how to run it, but I'm pretty satisfied now. We've got plenty of people from production who actually are like really interested in contributing to this. So hopefully, we can make something actually worth watching as opposed to just random crap that we put out and you guys ignore, because that would suck. So we're out of time. We got to move on to topic number 3 today.
Me and
Um,
we're the topic here.
God, well, yeah. Figured it'd
Such a
be
lame topic.
a good way to start, I guess, is just Matt. Tell us how
Yeah.
you ended up being somebody who we would put on 6x6 episode 1. Why are you here?
Ah, that's a good question. I should be asking you that. Why did you come here? No,
Uh,
uh, no, that's actually a it's long story short in a sense, because uh, you actually ended up casting one or two of my games from season 1 when I actually first joined, because that that's semester 1 of being in college, and I was just like, this looks like it's gonna be fun, and it's the first season. And then I showed up and I played, and I was like, I wish I was a part of the production team because I wanted to go ahead and be casting. Like that's all I thought about as we got towards playoffs. And then when we didn't make anywhere past the first season of first round of playoffs, I was like, I want to do casting. I want to do casting. I messaged Sam right after it, and I was like, can I do casting? And he was like, tryouts at the next season. And I was like, okay. And then I ended up actually I don't know if a lot of people know this. I know Stutson knows this, but I actually ended up doing third-party casting for like the first 3 weeks of the CR6 season this year, and I just been doing those, and signed up and just waited and waited and waited. So it's pretty boggers.
Yeah, you've been doing a lot in the last 2-3 weeks. You casted, I think, every single week. For
yeah,
I don't know. I don't even know. You've been on stream a lot lately.
I've been on stream 3 weekends in a row. I've done a Friday, the first week I was hired. I did the following Saturday, I think it was, and then you got scheduled for Saturday.
And then Manpants's internet died. Yeah, Manpants's internet died during the Friday cast, and you jumped in.
Yeah, jumped in last second at the ring of the bell, and then Saturday, of course, was my scheduled day. So then I showed up that day, and boy, do I hate Oregon. But that's a different story topic. But what about you? This is about the most conversation I've had with you than when talking about doing 6x6.
So, I mean, I joined CR6 production last season. Towards the beginning, I think I casted for the first time in like week 3 or 4. But I think I go back towards like League of Legends for me is where I started. That was the first game I ever played competitively.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got to Iowa State University, and I didn't know whether I wanted to play CS:GO or League of Legends, like on a team for the university. And I showed up and I went to our club on campus, and I was like, what kind of teams you got? And they were like, not really much. Like, no, it was the opposite. It was like, we've had players, we've had teams, but we don't really have a big organization right now. So I did that. I started like building up Iowa State's esports program. Certainly not alone. I don't want to take full credit for that or anything, but that's how I got involved, was trying to like build the community there. And as a part of that, I ended up getting roped into casting League of Legends for the Upsurge Esports League, very briefly, but I loved it. It was great. I had a lot of fun, and so I got into Rainbow Six. I started telling my CS:GO buddies that if Rainbow Six ever got popular in the collegiate scene, I was out of CS:GO immediately, and I would be playing Rainbow Six instead. And so it finally happened this year. CR6 popped up, and I quit CS:GO, started playing in CR6, and then immediately joined the staff, and then immediately realized I was going to have to quit playing competitive CS:GO because I was on the tournament admin staff, and didn't want to. You don't want to, conflict of interest there. So I got my one season in of playing, but yeah, then
all hopes were destroyed.
Yeah, and then during the off season, I was just kind of like I was watching just way too much of Thorin's thoughts and the Hot Breach podcast, and I was like, I want to do that. So we decided to come up with 6x6, and we'll see how it goes. And I guess that's the full backstory. That's how I ended up here.
Ugh. I mean, when it comes to like competitive games, I started out like in Dota, so I'm on the similar spectrum, just a different MOBA, and it was my friends dragged me into that, and I regret every last waking minute of it, even though I still play it. 2,000 hours and counting, and I only have 1,000 in Siege. Come on, you fucking pleb. But no, I got into Siege because of friends. They were just like, "Hey, stop playing Dota. Come play this great game." And I was like, "Is it really that great?" And then season 1 rolled up, and I was a gold. The season 2 rolled up, and I was a plat. And I was like, this is actually pretty fun. And then they all disappeared, and it wasn't until I got into college actually was when I got back into it. And so
Oh, that's the buzzer. That's the buzzer.
Yep, that's buzzer.
Topic's over.
Next topic.
This is the one that we got to rush on. We were talking about this earlier. It's power rankings time. We're both going to go through our opinions on the top 5 teams in the league after 5 weeks. We're halfway through the season. It's about time that we start talking about it. So yeah, you can start us off. What's your number 5 team?
Well, first off, don't hate us for our picks. My number 5.
I mean, you can flame me all you want. You can deflect, but
mine are kind of a little bit more personal. I like the players on the teams, but Akron is my 5th pick, and I feel like they could possibly just sneak up and snipe this out from underneath everyone. I feel like they're underranked. What about your number 5? I see an interesting one right there.
You think that one's interesting? My number 5 is West Virginia. They are in... Shoot, I've immediately lost them as soon as I said that. Oh, yeah, they're Eagle Group 2. They're 4 wins and a tie right now. I think that they are also getting kind of slept on right now. I think West Virginia is a really good team in a really competitive group, and the fact that they're on top says a lot. So... We don't have time to stick on it though. Number 4, where do you go?
Number 4, Central Florida. I literally they're just a great team, and every time I see them playing, insane comms, what it seems, and insane strats. You still have your few mistakes here or there, but somehow they're still winning, and that's all that matters. And I just think that it's a really good team. You got is that San Diego is your number 4?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, can't argue with Central Florida as a really good team. Can't argue with UCSD as a really good team. But I think that their group is a touch weaker than some other ones. They have a tie. I personally, if you've got a loss, you're not going to be on the top 5 list for me. But one tie is about as far as I'll go. That's where like Kennesaw State looks really good, but they've got 2 ties and 3 wins, and I just think that like the results have to speak a little bit for themselves. So yeah, UCSD is my number 4. Their only tie was against Houston, another team that's looked really good, but is also not quite on my top 5. So yeah, another good team, played good opponents, has good results. UCSD number 4.
Yeah, and then you see my number 3 is actually UCSD. I was going through it, and I was, man, these guys like they put up one really hell of a fight when they went up against Houston. Like that when I saw that going on, and I mean I know some of the guys from Houston, but Lord, when they put up a fight like that, and it was very not like one-sided. It was
that was a great match. That was for week number 1. That was such a good match. Week number 1, UCSD Houston.
Lord.
And yeah, like I can't argue with UCSD being on the top 5, obviously, because they're on mine too. But like they've definitely kept their form after the championship win last year. Like they're going to be dangerous going into playoffs for sure. Right now, I don't think they might not quite have the top results in the league, but they're gonna stay up there. They're gonna stay in the top 5 for a long time. Whereas some of these other teams might be moving up and down a little bit more.
Well, let's keep going. We can't stop.
Yeah,
keep
can't hesitate because my number 3 is British Columbia. This is another one that I don't think people talk enough about British Columbia. And also,
up in there.
Yeah, like again, they're 4 wins, 1 tie. In something that we'll discuss in the next topic. I don't want to spoil it too much, but they are in a really strong group. And the fact that they're on top, they've got 13 points, a 41 round differential in a group as strong as theirs, makes British Columbia like fantastic in my opinion. I think that they're a team that people really need to start paying way more attention to.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many great teams. I'll move on to just so we keep for time's sake. Norwich is my actual number 2. They seem to be doing so well, and I feel like they want to keep going, and so I feel like they're another team that's just gonna they're trying to catch up with everyone else, and you have to dethrone the top guys eventually. You have to take them down, and I feel like they could do something like that.
I just don't think Norwich deserves to be top 5, to be honest. They have a loss. And that's literally enough for me. For me, that's enough. They have one loss on their record. I mean, everything else has been great. No ties. They're 4 wins and a loss. They've got a good round differential. They're in a solid group. But they've got one loss, and that's too much.
Keep going.
Yeah, we got. Oh shoot, we got 1 minute left. All right.
Yes, keep going.
My number 2 is Central Florida. Basically, super strong team. Have had nothing but like perfect results. They've got the best round differential in the league. They have no losses. They're 5-0-0, 54 round differential. They've barely lost rounds at all. Like that's out of 56 rounds to win 5 matches.
Let's keep going. You can talk about in the next one.
But the group is not strong enough to make them number 1. Number 1 in the league, the Ohio State University. In my opinion, they're arguably in the strongest group, and they also have 0 losses, 0 ties. They have 5 wins, a fantastic round differential, only 1 behind Central Florida. Sorry, I only give you 20 seconds, but what's your number 1?
Yeah, my number 1 is actually Irvine. Their put up last season was insane, and I mean, even though they're not doing too hot, I still feel that they could pull this back. And we have to go to the next one.
All right. Sorry.
What's the next one? Whew.
Irvine, worth just as much talking about as Ohio State and all the rest, but we wasted all our time, just like we said we would. And I don't want to waste it anymore because we got to get right into the next topic, which is just an extension. It's the power of the regions. So for anybody who doesn't exactly know, we've got 4 divisions, and then each division has 3 groups. So there's 12 total. And so, yeah, each group has 8 teams in it. And so basically, I don't think that it's definitely not easy to come up with which groups are actually the strongest. But the way
based on who's in it.
Yeah, the way that I try to look at it is when you're playing matches within your group, every win equals a loss, every tie equals a tie. So you're always going to be completely balanced within the group. So you got to look at matches against other groups. So we compiled all of the records of, if you take all 8 teams in a single group, put their records together against any team that is not in their group. I know that I'm explaining that terribly, but their combined record against other groups is like how we're going to try to rank a little bit, but there's other factors too. So I gotta just run through them, I guess. I don't know any better way to do it, so I'm just gonna blaze through these.
We could probably talk about like the top ones here.
Oh, for sure, but I wanna say all of them before we can really discuss. So Eagle 1 is 4-1-4, 4 wins, 1 tie, 4 losses. Eagle 2 is 5-1-3. Eagle 3 is 4-2-3. Falcon 1, 4-2-3. Falcon 2, 1-0-9. Falcon 3, 3-3-3. Lots of 3s. Lion 1 is a record of 3-1-6. Lion 2 is 8-1-1. Lion 3, 3-2-3. Viper 1, 5-1-3. Viper 2, 3-3-4. Viper 3, 3-2-4. So now you have an opportunity to rewind the podcast if you're watching on YouTube and actually make sense of what I just said. But obviously the one that stands out is Lion 2, right? Like 8 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie.
Yeah, it really makes it stand out. But the other one on the opposite end, the reason they stand out is a bad reason. Be 1-0-9, yet they still have someone who's doing so insanely well in the league.
Yeah,
Iowa.
So yeah, I mean that's Iowa State, baby. And I really wanted to put them in the top 5 because I'm super biased. But I just couldn't. I couldn't because I think they're undisputably in the easiest group in the league. Like I cannot come up the numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the numbers are lying to me, but I don't think that they are. Like it's 1 win, 0 ties, and 9 losses against all the other groups. That's atrocious. That's really bad. Iowa State is the only team that has a win, and the win that they got was against a team that is 0-0-5 outside of their group. So like the only win that Falcon 2 could pick up was against a team that
Who's
has
already
not
been
won.
nothing.
So yeah, I mean that group is rough, but that makes it super hard to judge Iowa State, honestly, because they're doing fantastic. They have a 5-0-0, 51 round differential so far.
Yeah, and then I mean, you
It's
look at a group like Eagle One, where they're one and it's so balanced. Yet you have two teams that are running top tier right there with Ontario and Ohio State.
yeah,
With
so
Ontario being 47 and Ohio 53.
yeah, so because of that, I think the argument between the most powerful group has to be between Eagle 1 and Lion 2. Lion 2, of course, because of the record, 8-1-1. Like every time they play anybody that's outside of their group, they're winning. All of the teams in the group are, which is what's so impressive about it. And then Eagle 1 has two of the teams. There are 4 teams in the league that are 5-0-0, and one group has 2 of them, and they don't play each other until the last match of the season. That's going to be Ohio State versus Ontario IT in Week 9. If that doesn't get streamed, it's because one of these teams just went way downhill. But I don't expect that to happen either. Like, I mean, I had Ohio State number 1 on my ranking. I think they're going to stay strong. And so I'm really looking forward to that matchup. But
that's going to be a very interesting one. There's a lot of them, dude.
I
There's so many good groups to look at, and it's just so hard to pick one based on who's in it, because you have to look at how they're doing against each other and then how they're doing outside of it. Really see, like, comparing the teams, and that's where we're pulling like our stream stuff, seeing the round differentials, seeing how they're scoring point wise, and then saying, hey, this team's doing good here, but this is on a different level. It's looking at how they compare outside of these groups, because these groups were, it's picking 2 really good teams, and then it was 4 random teams after that, or 6 random teams after that. It was just a mixture of them, and so it's hard to say really if you had maybe more of good teams in there, or, lower tier teams. It's kind of hard to say.
I don't know, but you're not gonna get to say it because we're out of time.
We're out of time. Excellent.
So last topic is gonna be kind of just goofy. It's best in-game names of any player in CR6.
Says who? All right. I was just messing with you because we have it labeled as. Do you want me to start with some names, or?
Yeah, I mean, give me a couple. Give me a couple. Not all of them, but like, give me a couple and explain why you think they're best names in the league.
All right. You know what? I'll just do. I'll probably just hit you with my favorite group of guys, the Love Clan from South Dakota. Oh my gosh, these guys, they spent the time, because last season they weren't able to get it off, but this season it's Love.Dad, Mom, Son, Uncle, and Squid, and they're just such hilarious names to have, because you get killed by them. He's like, yeah, I got killed by Love.Dad, and it's like, yeah, he's sending his love your way right now, and it's some funny names to look at. Like, seeing groups do that is too funny to see.
A squid is a really unique family pet as well.
Yeah,
we've got the whole family and squid. Yeah.
And the random uncle, no daughter.
Well, I mean, not everybody has a daughter.
Yeah,
that's very judgmental of you, Matt. Okay, so I agree, sort of. Like, it's great to see like the whole clan aspect of it. I really like names. This is totally opposite end of the spectrum. I like names that feel good to say.
I noticed that you have a lot
Just
of them.
yeah, oh yeah. The caster likes things that sound good. Like, very surprising. But because of that, you get short syllables and hard consonants that work together. Those are the best names. So for me, the ones that I have in that category: Kama, Chachi, and Strikeon. Like, those names, those aren't like memey in any way, but those are some of my absolute favorite names. Like, I think I've casted every single one of them at some point between this season and last, and they're just the best names. They just roll off the tongue. They're easy to get like hyped with, and yeah, just they're cool. They're cool. They're not funny names. They're just straight up cool names. I love those.
Yeah, and I think that's where I'm on the opposite end. I like the funny names. So like my two top funny names is of course I had to put Ubi trying to goof me in there. The man, his name is so hilarious, and that he's able to get away with it. Ubi trying to goof me, and then you just walk up and be like, "Hey, Ubi," and he's like, "Sup?" And then the other one, Dog Demodome, like who doesn't want to go ahead and meme about one of the the greatest 10-gallon hats? Instead of 10 gallons, it was 100 gallons basically.
Yeah.
Dog Demodome here. Dimsdale Dimmadome. Yeah, no.
In CR6, you mean, not the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
Oh, it's in CR6, but we all know what I'm talking about. It's a great name. I like it. It's kind of funny.
I do have one. I have one in that same vein, but it's got an asterisk by it as well. So like on Houston, everybody probably is aware of Jesus because we've streamed him so many goddamn times already.
Oh Lord.
Which is a fine name as it is, but last season it was way better. I wish he hadn't changed it. He was the Lord Jesus. And I love that one. I thought, like, if I'm gonna pick a Mimi name, that was probably my favorite Mimi name, the Lord Jesus.
The way it's spelled, it really works. Like Jesus, like you really think about how you say it, and it's like Jesus. And then and then, I mean I picked up like two random ones, right? Like Father Toaster, like. Where sometimes I wonder where these names come up from, but then you see something like Beast Freak that I have here, and he spelled all his E's with threes, of course, because it's gamer tag. We have to have something weird about them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd probably even throw mine up there. When I went by first season 1, I went by Cat Mode because I was on like what was it, Bravest Warriors? I was on this big binge of them. And so I just loved the character, and so I had something like Mimi going on there, kind of like what Doug has. So I find the names are just hilarious.
Yeah, I absolutely would not put my name on there. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I don't much love i7. It's like I've made myself a somewhat public profile with it now, and I still do.
I track that.
I kind of want to change it, and I definitely don't have time right now to tell the story of why I hate it. So maybe we'll do that some other time, but I said it's fine. It's fine. It's mostly the story is why I hate it. The literally saying i7 doesn't bother me that much.
It's
but
more
yeah,
irritating than anything.
I think my verdict on this one, honestly, Comma. Comma's got the best name in the league. Komma. Best in-game name in the entire league.
That's a really good one. I still have to love me some. It would be trying to goof me. It's just it really does happen, and we see it in the streets.
Yeah.
He does really trying to, and it's sometimes you just can't do anything about it. Like the last that I was casting on Saturday, there was that slight sound of a mute jammer. You're just like, no, why? And you had to go ahead and do something about it. That's actually time.
Yeah, that's it. We're done there. So yeah, we're out of time. That's how it's gonna work. That's 6x6, guys.
We cut it right here. End it.
Yeah, smash cut. Vix, when you're watching this, just smash cut out right now. No, we do a little outro, I guess. Thanks for watching. If you have, this was super fun to make. I definitely hope you guys enjoyed watching. I hope you will be interested in checking us out as we try to do this on a weekly basis, I think. And definitely, please tweet at us at 6x6 Podcast. Tell us what you want to hear. Give us serious ideas. Give us Mimi ideas. We'll definitely try to fit as many of those in as we can.
Plus, we could sort through them and find the good ones, and then find like really bad ones to throw in there with it. Just mix it all together. Yeah. It's a crock pot. Yeah. That's the point of 6x6. Is you can literally get your idea out there, have talk about it, and go maybe a little bit more in depth, or just really just not go anywhere with it and have some really crazy to go along with it.
Yeah, and I should say, if you're a player, tweet at us that you want to be on the show. If you do, come talk with us to provide some perspective of somebody that actually knows what they're talking about, as opposed to Matt and I. But yeah, I think
we
that's
can't know
it.
everything.
I think that's it though. We should go. We've had a blast. But it's time for us to say goodbye. Hopefully this goes over well. I think
Yeah,
it's
hopefully.
good. Yeah,
I think it went well.
shit, we'll just do it for ourselves if nobody likes it. Thanks for watching, guys. We're gonna head out.
Adios.